you know, rack, rack, rack. He must have had, his arms must have got up to 20s, and he was cut too. But anyway, he was out here because one of the friends, not friends, one of the guys in the neighborhood was taking people's stuff and doing stuff, and they did something to him, and he wasn't packing. So he said, well, okay, I'll just wait, and I'll go get my stuff. And he was telling me about it. I said, I tell you what, man. I said, is he messing with a lot of people? He said, yeah, man, he messing with so-and-so. I said, well, come on out here. I'll give you the game on what to do about that. In other words, I'm a professional. I'll show you how to take care of the guy. When he got out here, I kept him out here. And then you notice all of a sudden he just went back home. When the guy got killed, I was just telling him, before he left, I said, don't never get at the front of a line. If a nigga is going around messing with everybody, Oakland is just like D.C. You can't do that but a week or a month. That's all. Life expectancy. I said, that's why he realized it. I said, that's why I brought you out here. Hang with me a while. Just come out here and hang, and I got him out here. We lifting the iron, and he got to kind of liking it a little. And the point was, but he did catch up with me and iron. You ain't sad, are you, Dad? I said, no. I said, as long as you don't be talking out the side of your mouth, it's fine with me. I mean, I wasn't a slouch around there. I mean, I was racking iron, but he was in his 20s or whatever it is at that time. And so he, and way bigger. If you remember his size, he was way bigger, and he was rapping that iron. Anyway, before he could never catch me because he would get out and we would work out together. And then he'd go back to jail or go to somewhere. Anyway, about this, the whole story. So I showed you the picture about, yeah. Okay, see if you can read what this says at the bottom right here. But anyway, these right here, this is on my door. Can you see what it says? Yeah, loser. Okay, that's just a couple of hours ago. I just painted over it, so I got painted. Okay. No. It's great. You got to remember, my life is different than other people's. And I have to understand when God giving you a gift, here's the gift. Now, Fatima wrote this. Fatima, Bahia, they have the similar idea. Now, what is the idea? Recently, they was getting better. They was seeing, Now, for a long time, when their friends would come around, sometime Sakina's friends would be there, and they said every night, you ought to help, you guys are not going to help your father, because they knew what I was doing, and they would see a few videos or hear stuff, and they would automatically, they're going to pull up the internet. So even they in high school, they knew what it meant, Anyway, so most people would be very tragic and sad if their daughters said that. Not me. No. Very, very happy. Why? Here's why. It's because they tell them, like Fatima said one time, not long ago, Dad, if you was that serious, though, they would kill you. I said, under usual circumstances, they would. So that's the whole card. Sister Bahia and them. Sister Bahia told them, your father is a dangerous man. And the government, if you don't cooperate, they're going to kill him. Because you've been to the programs, you see what he talks about. You see how he acts. You've seen 1,000 little traps around here. You've seen all of that. It don't work It ain't doing no good. It just makes them worse. Well, worse is better. So this is what she was sold to them. So they went through some changes and then they cranked in because it made sense to them. And remember, women or girls are different than boys, especially in some cases. Your mother will go if they was gonna hang a Negro pleading with boss man all on the, and boss, she could do that because she's a woman. Okay, so women are concerned about your safety, not about your fulfillment. So to them, your safety is of paramount importance for the children, for this, that, and other. And a lot of women will tell the children this, that, and other because it keeps them safe. I remember when Sakina was 16, she had wrote a kind of a letter, and I said, you live your life. Ain't nobody gonna, you don't let nobody interrupt this life you living. You're not gonna get no other one, not on this go round. This is your life. You have to live it the way you want to live it. That's what I told her, and that's what I meant. Maybe she was 16 or 17. But this is what I told her, and this is what I meant. You gonna live you should live your own life the way you want. And never let nobody tell you it's about hijab and stuff like that. I say, you're at a certain age now. Every decision you make is on you. You don't let nobody run. You don't let, but of course they do in some cases. Anyway, their mother is not very bright. Oh, she's not bright at all. She's with the dumb team. Abdul Malik now, all the women that was around with that, you know, they know all the scuttlebutt. I mean, right now, when Halle Berry run off down the Dixie with the other man, and so y'all remember when she called here on one Sunday or something, was having a program. I'm ready to go to California right now. And I kind of grinned and laughed. I was happy about it. But that was from a long time ago. Everybody was making fun of her and all of that. So I sent her several $1,000s just to, you know, she's living in a trailer trash. Okay. So anyway, I sent her some money. You got to pay it back or this, that, and other. So they get wind of everything. So Sister Bahia, she's not fine like that no more. She's big and fat, you know, or something like that. Well, what do you know? How do you know that? And you know, this was your main competitor. And what? You know, of course, I listen. I don't never stop nobody and say, well, sometime. Now, explain that position. No. Oh, so that means she knows where she's at. She knows all. They know they're all, you know, anyway. So the point is this, is that you get a feeling for who everybody is. And that whole team, I'm telling you, it's an amateur team. I used to call them high school Negroes. Now I've expanded and I refer to them as elementary school Negroes. That means Sister Bahia and them have not grown. They've been demoted. They're going downhill. Because see, I'm stretched, I'm going on out there. And I know what's going on. And they're not going anywhere. They're still, you could tell by behavior, they're still repeating the same dumb stuff. And this last thing about the writing, my daughter was going to write it on the Masjid. I said, she come around the thing a couple of hours ago. So, you're here? I said, yeah. Well, I was going to write this. I said, well, go around and write it on the door, instead of writing it on the Masjid, well, let me get to the point instead of rambling. I'm satisfied with what's going on with my children because they're alive. See, the government can't do nothing to Sakina and them because their mama's involved. So their safety, what is a man? A man, see, daughters is different for a man, right? You got sons and you got daughters. You be serious about, probably you just got a little one, but still your mind is, I ain't gonna let no married nigga marry that girl, right? And she can't hardly talk yet, right? But you be thinking about all that stuff. And other little baby in a crib, a nigga better watch out. I tell you, right? This is just, so you want to protect, you feel more protective about daughters than sons. Automatically. So, nothing can happen to them. If they catch a cold, if they trip off the sidewalk and get hit by a bus, the government's in trouble because that's what their mama's guarantee was. And she won't know whether they did it on purpose or whether, right? No, so their safety is guaranteed. So I'm happy with that. That's why I'm telling the story. They fulfill their obligation. It just ain't gonna work. It don't work at all. Because, the Quran says about your family, your wives, children, parents, and it's your obligation to do certain things, like this talking about jihad, to go for jihad, whether wives, children, parents, all of them, don't make no difference. Okay, that's incorporated and it's normal. Now, years ago, when my son would be going to jail all the time, he was the youngest son, had a probation officer, and I was down talking to him. He had a picture of his wife and 2 children, nice family. And he was telling me, well, we was thinking we would do this, that, and another. I said, you don't know what's good for my son? And I was talking real rough to him. He said, if that was my children, I would. I said, I don't do that. That was in 80, must have been 83 or something like that. That was a long time ago. In other words, I felt that way then. No, I'm not going for that. I'm not putting up with, because on the day of judgment, by that time, the children will be grown. They got to stand on their own 2 feet. Not me. And the other thing is, if the crooked government were to touch this button, that button, and this is children, right? They say every man has a price. That's a lie. So far, I haven't found it yet. What they could use to push a button, maybe it's girls, maybe it's boys, maybe it's money, maybe it's prestige. I tell them right now, I don't know what it is, because I don't see nothing that y'all talking about. And plus, as dumb as y'all are, y'all so dumb, you ought to hurt. Boss man, right? He ought to be hurting wherever he's at. Hurting in his brain, hurting in his feet, hurting in his whole body. Hey man, the guy is messing up bad in the world, and it ain't come to him yet. Okay, so I'll speed up. I'm sorry. You know, that is wonderful. That's why I took a picture of it. So I know other people are not at that stage, but I am. And this is a stage of doing right or wrong. Now, whether a person or whether we like it or not, our children's lives are on the line right this minute by the environment. There ain't no guarantee this thing's going to be here another 5 years, another 10 years. And nothing is going right. Everything in this society has, I just turned it back to NPR for a little bit to listen to it a little bit.